Most people I know seem to agree that Full English, a Family Guy knockoff, is what killed the interest in a British adult animated series. Channel 4, who aired the show, never again attempted to make another animated series for adults. ITV and BBC did though, with two failures named Warren United and Sticky. And Sticky was so bad that barely anybody even knew it existed, and the pilot was lost for quite some time, until it was uploaded to YouTube one day. Then there was The Golden Cobra, 6 years later, which I have seen one episode of, and I do not have strong feelings on it. It's apparently getting a second season soon, which is all I know about the show's status as of now. British adult animated shows used to be really interesting back in the 90s, with classics such as Pond Life, Rexamont, Angry Kid, and what may come as a hot take, Craftston Villas. It was all about experimentation back then, even if some of the shows weren't treated very well by the networks. The 2000s was a nothing burger decade for British adult animation, as there was only a few shows like Monkey Dust and Bromwell High that came out. I haven't seen much of Monkey Dust, though I know it's somewhat well received, and Bromwell High is alright. Then the 2010s arrived, when Family Guy was the big thing in adult animation, and so now experimentation was over and it was time for unoriginality. And so the decade spawned the aforementioned three disasters, Full English, Warren United, and Sticky, which all ripped off Family Guy in some way, or at least other raunchy adult animated series like Brickleberry. I reviewed Sticky in 2021 and it's pretty terrible. Back then I used a voice changer because I saw another YouTuber get away with it, but looking back it just sounded so weird. I also recorded the video in a bathroom of all places, and back then I, along with everybody else, assumed that the pilot was the only thing that was ever made of this show. Well, no. There's also another one that was randomly uploaded 2 years later, and that was the best day of my life, and I definitely watched it. Anyways, now it's time to revisit both the pilot and take a look at the first and seemingly only never mind. It turns out there are actually 3 episodes of this show. There is another version of the pilot that confuses me as to when exactly it came out, because the end credits conveniently cut off where it would usually state the year it was made. Obama is depicted as the American president, and a character is shown wearing a grade A under A t-shirt, who wasn't a big thing in 2018, or 2017, which is closer to when the other one was made. And yet it is apparently an episode 2. So maybe this and the other episode are from 2014 or 2015, making them both the actual pilots for the show. But then what is the 2018 pilot then? I guess it might actually be the first episode. It's more than likely this is the case, but I really don't care that much to do extensive research on when the show was made, so let's just try and navigate around this. I'll start with the most obvious problem first off, which applies to all of these episodes. The animation is horrible. This was obviously the cheapest way they could animate the show, which is not surprising considering the BBC probably wasn't too sure if this would do well with audiences. I dislike this art style a lot. There's nothing really creative about it, unlike in other shows which used a similar style. And because the show is so cheaply animated, the character designs are just round, tiny bodies with real human heads attached, in a way that just looks so weird, especially when their legs don't move. Which works better in shows that don't have realistic designs like this, like South Park, which is well known for having characters just hop around the place without moving their legs. And at least with that show, they do show that the characters can move their legs. I find it so awkward looking at these realistically designed characters that look like they've been squashed down with no neck and don't seem to be capable of moving 2 very important limbs. The humor and characters themselves are also problems that apply with all episodes, but I'll explain what's wrong with them as we go through these. I'll start with the pilot, or what is probably the first episode, or whatever, just because that's what I already reviewed and what most people have seen of this show. Not even 2 seconds into the episode and we already have our first problem. Not funny. I get the joke that it already had an inappropriate name and some kid scored it out and wrote penis, but it isn't really that funny.
I get it.
You to work with me on this.
It ain't making me laugh, but I get it.
Yo, check out this new low cap video. It's proper mental.
Later, I'm watching a live tweeting Game of Zombies.
What's Game of Zombies?
It's the award-winning spin-off of Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead.
What's happening now?
My exposé about the school canteen is the second story on the school news site.
So here's the cast of characters who are all bland one-note joke characters, but this isn't all the main characters. No, because there is also the female character's younger brother. He is featured prominently in the other 2 episodes, so it's likely he was demoted to extra in this episode for diversity reasons, because the female character, whose name is Ziggy, wasn't in the other 2. I guess this younger brother character was just too good to leave out of the show entirely. Anyways, they are all watching a raunchy version of Game of Thrones.
Ziggy, what would you rather do it with? A zombie or a dragon?
Zombie.
Why?
Zombie's human-shaped. If I squint, I can pretend it's Holly Willoughby.
Holly Willoughby? Ziggy, are you a lesbian now, saying?
I just have this feeling I might really enjoy eating muff.
Yeah, I have that feeling too.
Oh, and a lot of the jokes aren't just unfunny, but indecipherable. Can anyone tell me the punchline here? Is it lesbian? Is it sex? Is it funny word? Is it celebrity? The internet suddenly switches off, leaving the characters confused, and then this happens.
What have you shitty people done to me damn internet? I'm trying to sexy Skype.
Oh my
With one of my classy international gentlemen friends. And my Wi-Fi dead.
Do they all look like that?
I am no longer a lesbian.
If I'm not getting connection, him not getting erection.
This scene is honestly funny in just how unfunny it is. That's a very rare type of unfunny. After saying this, the smart character concludes that the internet must be off everywhere. I don't know how seeing a naked grandma shouting about no internet makes you conclude that, but okay. And it turns out he is right.
At 4:45 today, the internet disappeared worldwide.
Fuck!
There's panic on the streets as citizens ask what the fuck is going on.
That don't matter.
In New York, similar scenes of mayhem.
Oh my god! No Twitter. What does Justin Bieber think? What does Justin Bieber think?
In Washington, the disappearance of Twitter has caused President Trump to suffer some kind of mental breakdown. During a live TV address, he was seen writing on the walls with his own shit, using 140 characters or less.
If there's no Twitter, do I exist? Hashtag Orange Lives Matter.
This is a very hilarious commentary. I never really thought about how the world is so connected to the internet before. So we find out that because of the internet disappearing, the dumb character is becoming smarter, and both the dumb character and smart character don't like that, which is why they need to get the internet back. Yeah, this is what I mean by one-note characters. They could work well with good jokes, but as we have already established, that ain't here. So a creepy guy tells them where they need to go to get the internet back, and then they end up at a deserted library and meet a Gollum-like character who tells them someone had kidnapped the internet, and as he is about to name who, he is seemingly killed by ninjas. In his dying breath, he tells them where the internet is, and also asks to have his dying wish fulfilled, which is to have his dick sucked. Are you laughing at that? Well, if you aren't, don't worry, cause it gets even better. It turns out he wasn't dying after all and was just a pervert. Sexual humor is one of the most misunderstood types, because a lot of the time it is assumed that something sexual and weird can be substituted for an actual punchline. You do still have to make the joke funny. Having a weird Gollum-like pervert trick people into sucking him off isn't funny in itself. So on the journey to find the place that has the internet, we see that Ashley, who is the dumb character's brain is expanding, which makes him so smart that he uses telekinetic powers on some guards that start shooting at them, and he turns them into a Nazi cow.
Ash's brain is so clever, he's acquired telekinetic powers.
This is fucking mental. What is going on?
I'm no scientist, but I think Ash has gained power over matter itself. He's dismantled the guards atom by atom, and now he's rearranging those particles into a cow.
I don't really get the Nazi part. Feels like just being random for the sake of it. So they finally meet the bad guys.
The party's over, you rotter, or should I say, chairman of the Librarians Association, Professor Nerp!
Well done. You worked out who I am.
You saw that written on his badge, didn't you?
Yep.
Alright, admittedly that was actually funny. They ask why the librarian did this, and he gives the obvious reason and also reveals that a classic porn director is in on the plan as well, as he thinks internet porn is inferior. This is a decent concept, I guess. There is some creativity in it, I'll give it that. It also gives us another joke that actually worked for me.
This is the internet.
And this is internet porn.
And we're going to blow it all sky high.
Yeah.
And put libraries back in our communities.
Yeah, and classic porn.
And classic porn.
And classic porn libraries.
And classic porn libraries.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe we could have a little classic porn section in the libraries.
I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be appropriate.
Sure it would. You know, with a velvety curtain.
Yeah, or bead curtains.
Classy.
Look, can we talk about this after we've blown up the internet?
Yeah, sure, man.
So anyway, the younger brother character ends up showing up and saving the day, and they save the internet from being blown up and defeat the bad guys.
Ashley, come on!
I'm sure I can bring it with me.
It's not worth it, bruv.
I can almost lift it.
No porn's worth dying for.
This character is apparently so inhumanly smart right now that he can use fucking telekinetic powers, yet is unable to think of a way to save all of the internet porn. Okay.
I've done it! I finally got the #1 story!
Yeah.
Nice one.
You know, I learned something today, that when 4 super best friends stick together...
But the Gazette's got your name wrong.
What?
It says, written by Pube Maloney.
That might have worked had this thing not been so full of jokes like that already. So that was Sticky's 2018 episode, and it truly was a disaster piece. Now on to 2 more disaster pieces. So this episode is titled Fiends and is 7 minutes long instead of 20-something. This was likely something you could only find on the BBC's website at some point. Looky what we have here. Political commentary. Let's see how well that goes.
Werewolves, vampires.
So we see here that the self-absorbed smart character seems to have previously been characterized as a random nobody. That's a plus I can give the 2018 episode, because here this character is just so nothing. There's nothing here at all. His character is just Guy.
Zombies and all manner of hideous monsters are taking over your society. And they're moving into your hospitals, your schools. It's part of a global satanic conspiracy to enslave us all.
Send them all home, I say.
Boom.
So this episode's political commentary is about immigrants, and they're using zombies and monsters as the stand-in for the immigrants. Fucking genius.
Oh, shameful.
Oh, yeah, but... Oh, you been seeing me palm cream, son, me grapes murder. Okay. Kill me now.
You see, the joke is gross thing happened. This is the series that BBC looked at and thought, brilliant. Turn it into a full series.
Found myself in a sticky situation.
That reminds me of another thing I dislike. So the zombies and werewolves become new students at the school, and the characters have mixed reactions to them. Ashley is afraid of them, and Herbert, the name of the self-absorbed smart character and also the random guy, has taken a liking to the werewolf named Luna. There he is, the chav who was so gosh darn fucking amazing of a character that they couldn't leave him out of the 2018 pilot. So while Luna and Herbert are having an unfunny scene with each other, a guy comes at them with a pistol but is knocked down by a bus. He yells at them that he will be back. Next we get a scene where Herbert is over at Luna's house meeting her parents. Can you guess where this will go?
What's the matter with you? Dad said I'm not good enough to see her.
No, I'd say you're both perfectly dull. So Herbert and Luna go to the school disco where he gives a speech about how it doesn't matter if he's human and she's a werewolf and whatever.
I don't care what color your pee-pee is, just as long as I can touch it. It don't matter if it's pink or blue, as long as my pee-pee is for me and you.
God, this really is on another level of shit. So the villain returns and tries to kill the monsters but falls into a bin. What a thrilling climax. So that offered absolutely nothing. Let's look at the OG version of the pilot now, which should be quite quick as there is not a lot of differences. So the first difference is the episode starts with the characters just standing in a house watching Ashley's phone instead of the Game of Thrones parody. The Gran is also enclosed this time.
Internet broken.
Did you try switching it on and off and on again?
Listen, boy. Internet actually broken.
She's right. All internet servers around the world have mysteriously crashed.
No internet.
In other news, Mark Zuckerberg resorts to snooping through bins to get your personal information.
Did you hear that? We reference celebrity that you have heard about. South Park does it all the time, and we're just as funny as that show. So one of the characters somehow has an idea of where the internet is.
I'll have that one. For Queen Anne Locax.
Here we go!
I wanted that one.
Don't worry, bro. The snow will break your fall, innit? Hey?
Have some of that!
So it seems like Herbert is even more of a punching bag loser character here. Goody, I love those types of characters. So Herbert suggests climbing the mountain to get into the castle, but the others suggest a cable car and to get some chicken first. Herbert says no, but they of course get the chicken and use the cable car anyway.
I don't think that I can hold on much longer, guys. Help! Guys? No. No. You had so much to live for. You had so much to give.
See you later, guys.
See you around, Jen.
Later.
Are you coming to the party?
No, I am not.
Suit yourself.
This show is incapable of being unpredictable. So Herbert kills the guards with a gun after being told to chill out, and you already know what happens next. Yep, library guy and porn director are revealed to be behind it all.
Maybe we could have a little classic porn section in the libraries.
I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be appropriate, Steve.
Sure it would.
Oh look, there's one of the jokes I find funny from the pilot.
Maybe we could just leave the porny bit.
We're not changing the plan, man.
No, I just thought that maybe we could keep that bit there.
No, it's all gotta go, man.
Now, come on, Steve. Don't do anything rash.
We've been over this already.
There's a legacy there.
What?
I could be the custodian of that legacy.
Legacy my ass.
Oh, they fucked it up. Yeah, you see, that joke worked for me because the librarian is shown to be a prim and proper guy, and having the porn director suggesting a porno section in the library is a funny contrast to that. But not when the librarian is also a pervert. Anyway, they defeat the bad guys and save the internet and whatever. So, that was the entirety of Sticky, because as far as I know, nothing else exists from this thing. An unfunny mess with god-awful jokes, terrible animation, horrible characters, and uninteresting social commentary. But I do have to give the show credit. The actual 2018 first episode, while it does suck, is much better than the 2 7-minute episodes, which honestly have fucking nothing good about them. They are horrendous. The characters are all unfunny nobodies with next to zero defining traits other than that. Going through those 2 awful episodes make me regret harping on about how one-note the characters were in the 2018 pilot. At least that episode attempted to give each of them some kind of identity to make them seem more like characters. There was dumb character, there was smart character, there was loud character, and there was... I'm still trying to figure out that one, the other one. And it would actually probably work well if the show was funny. But alas, it is not, and it will likely remain as one of the worst British adult cartoons to have ever aired. At least until 2050 or something, when it comes back as a revival for everyone who watched it back in the 2010s.